Martin's Test Shaves, 23rd of April on a Wednesday. And it's the afternoon and it's cold outside and I'm bored. So after seeing a wonderful shave from this gentleman, the Cajun Blade, using a new menthol soap, which scares me to death because it's cold here today and I don't need menthol. But this is the famous Cajun Blade Floret de Pines, Flowers of the Forest or Flower of the Pines. And this is one of my favourites. Truly a magnificent soap. I'm going to use a slightly different brush today. It's still synthetic. This one given to me by Gary some time back. And it's just nice, like all synthetics are. They really do lather up very quickly. Anyway, the shave today, I'm going to do a copycat. I'm going to copy what the Cajun Blade has just done, which is a shave with a German and a Spanish razor. As a comparison, difference is I'm using virtually an identical, I will show you the case. I'm using a virtually identical razor, which is of course, if you can see there, it's the Ralf Aust. It's a very fine razor, very nice scales on it. And I'm comparing it to a very unusual Filharmonica, which I hope some of you guys might in fact be able to dig some more information out. It's a Filly14. It's got the rather late style plastic grips, scales rather. But the unusual part is it's an Imperial, and it should have an eagle somewhere on it, but it doesn't. Some did, some didn't. It's with its original case. Now the case is a giveaway because the case is very much of the earlier style. It's not the late style Philly case, and it has no made in España. It has no made in Spain on the other side of the tang, so it's pre-1959. And yet the grips, which look very mint, they look more like 1960s, but they're not. So if anybody has a little bit of knowledge, I'd be grateful. It's quite a scarce model, it's quite an unusual model. Anyway, I'm going to compare them because I believe I had put them both onto black arcs. So it's going to be black arc finish to black arc finish. So I think that'll do. Ugh. Do beware the slippery fingers, by the way, chaps, because Eric's is the most smooth, magnificent lather, but it is very slippery. So dry the mitts. Okay, let's start off with the German Wunder. This is a particularly nice Ralf Aust because it's got, as you can see, very nice horn scales, the nice horn spacer at the back, wedge. In fact, no, it's not. It's all one piece. I'll be damned. I think that's all one piece. Anyway, it's a generous size. It's about 7/8. So let's see how that goes on its first pass. Nothing wrong with that edge. I've got about, I don't know, only about 2 days. Yeah, about 2 days of stubble. Not the thickest. But it's old man stubble, so it's fairly stiff. Yeah, that's beautiful. Yeah, that's magnificent actually. So first pass is definitely going to be a winner. Yeah, that's a Ralf Aust at its best, I think. I don't know if all the Ralf Austs have a nice pattern spine, but this one does. See the nice patterning? That's sweet. So it's a very modern razor, but it's very, very high grade. Let's wipe off some of the crud. Yep, that's cutting really well. Now, this is the real test. By the way, the etching on it is very light, but superb. Anyway, let's go on to the real question here, which is this magnificent Filharmonica. Now, what's unusual is it's in mint condition. It's new old stock, but, and here's the big but, there's no etching on it. All you can see is the Imperial and of course the Jose Montserrat Powell and the 14 and the nice little lyre, which is of course the classic stamp and the classic sign of the Filharmonica range. But on the other side, nothing at all. So you've got the Filharmonica, it's a straight address, but it's big lettering, so a bit unusual. Anyway, enough of this, let's see how it actually shells. Yeah, typical good quality Filly. I'd love to know the date. I really am struggling with this one. Let's say it's an Imperial, and that's all I know. It's an Imperial, it's a 14, so it's slightly bigger than the Ralf Aust. Yeah, it's splitting hairs, excuse the pun, intentional pun. Oh, that's smooth. Very nice. Why is it so smooth? I think I just found something there. Why is it so smooth? Mostly due to the fact that it's a very, very good quality lather. And yes, I did. I'll be damned. I think that was a slight nick. Now, ironically, I think it's probably yesterday's video. I think the Cajun blade. I think Eric put a very slight nick in as well. What is that slight? I don't count them. I mean, if it's not really going some, it's not a nick. I think I'd have to call that at the very most. It's not even really bleeding. No, that is that's nothing at all. And for those that don't know, if you do get a slight nick, and it's so slight you can't feel it, in other words a weeper, I'd strongly suggest using any quality of styptic pencil, which I've got one here. Now, that's a German styptic pencil. I mean, I don't need it, I'm just sort of really saying what it is. There's a styptic pencil, and all it is it's a strong alum, it's a strong salt. You put that on and it will almost instantly stop bleeding. That's what it's meant to do. And obviously it also cauterizes the wound, so to say. Not that it is a wound. Come on, let's be sensible. It's nothing, absolutely nothing. But at the same time, yeah, it's gone. Anyway, let's go for a second pass against the grain. But surprisingly enough, if you said which did I prefer, I honestly wouldn't like to say, because at the moment, the Ralf Aust on its first pass was magnificent. But I'm a bit of a fanatic on Spanish razors, and generally speaking, putting another slight dash on, generally speaking, you can't go wrong. So, now that's a slick lather. I like slick. Yep. Let's go again. This time again back with the Ralf Aust against the grain. It's lovely horn grips. The horn scales rather do it justice. So let's go against the grain. Yep. Very nice. Cross the grain, cross the stubble. Yeah, okay. Cross the old moustache. The upper lip's a little bit, it's all right, it's good. Yeah, the first pass I'd say was strangely enough better. Isn't that odd? Anyway, on a totally different subject, a little bit of a celebration shave today. I was on the riverbank last night, and I managed to achieve my goal. I hit the pillbox, the other side of the river. 67 metres, or was it 67 yards? No, 67 yards, beg its pardon. Which for me, as a relatively speaking novice, that's quite good. With my sling and a beach pebble. No, you can't beat the Filly. It's just something about Philharmonicas. I don't know what it is. But the Ralf Aust is holding its own very, very well, and that's a very modern razor, but good quality, very high quality grind. There's nothing left. Very little left now. Let's go across the old moustache. Yeah, very good, very nice. Go fool's pass. A little bit stiffer than I expected on the fool's pass. A little more resistant. So let's give it a wipe off and a little bit of a palm strop. Not that it makes much difference, I mean, you know, who cares? But generally speaking, if you've got a good edge, and this is a good edge, it doesn't take much to keep it going for months and months and months. Yeah, that's lovely. I don't need any more. That's a perfectly adequate shave, chaps. Let's do under the boko properly. And that's why I didn't wipe off the blade properly, did I? That's stupid of me. So, yeah, in conclusion, I would say for a modern razor like the Ralf Aust to hold its own very equal to this beautiful thing is very rare. History of this, I've really no idea. I got it from a very good Spanish Jesus contact of mine about 2022, I think it was. I haven't used it. I'm lazy. It needs using. There's no point having these wonderful razors unless you're going to compare them one to the other. Let's give one more pass. So this is third pass. Yeah, it's BBS. Curious how the razor brings up the stubble, even though there's virtually no stubble there. Buffing pass. Good way of trimming the last little bits of recalcitrant stubble. Yeah, I'm happy. That's good. So, there you have it. I would say Spanish versus German, very, very close. They are related. The Solingen steel and grind, very similar. Might well find on these earlier Philharmonicas that they're actually made in Germany anyway. So, but if anybody has any useful insights into this particular beastie, I'd be grateful. As I say, I got it from a very reliable source. You've seen the box. The case it came in is original. It's a Philharmonica case, but it hasn't got Philharmonica all over it. Instead, we've got just what this is. So we've got Imperial. It's got the usual lyre. It's got the 14 on it, and it's got the Jose Montserrat Powell. The case, as I say, is absolutely original. You can usually tell with that strange design which the early Philharmonicas had, but that's all it's got. So I'm a little bit of a loss. Right, I'm going to wash this off. Thank you so much for the good soap, Eric. I've still got several of your soaps and they're all good. I really don't think in a British climate, until we get to high summer, whatever that is in England, I would need a menthol. So that's going to do me. Do I put a splash on? Yeah, why not? I use the usual because I'm rather fond of this actually. I'm going to use the Clubman Pinard. For the simple reason, it's extremely good at waking you up. I know it's mid-afternoon, but come on. Yeah, citrus. Very, very pure citrus. A little bit of a sting, tiny sting from the alcohol. But I think it's glycerine they use as a smoothing agent. Absolute perfection. So that's it, guys. Thank you for subscribing if you have, and if you haven't, please do. And I'm always testing razors. That's what I do. So it's Martin's Shave Test. Au revoir.